Britain in the 1970s was a country in flux, strikes, fuel shortages, and a car industry desperate to reinvent itself. British Leyland and its rivals chased bold new ideas, mixing strange styling with stranger engineering decisions. Some cars promised innovation. Others promised status. Many promised nothing at all, except trouble. Buyers queued up, excited for something different, and got something else entirely. By the end of the decade, driveways across Britain held cars people quietly wished they'd never bought. One vehicle in particular became a national punchline, and we're saving it for last. Let's start with number 10. Number 10. Reliant Kitten. Reliant launched the Kitten in 1975, hoping to expand beyond their three-wheeled reputation with a proper four-wheeled economy car. Built using a fiberglass body over a steel chassis, it promised lightweight efficiency during a decade gripped by fuel anxiety. Buyers were drawn in by low running costs and Reliant's growing confidence as a manufacturer. But something felt off from the start. The styling looked dated before it even reached showrooms, awkwardly squeezed between hatchback trends and old-fashioned saloon proportions. Underneath, it shared mechanical roots with Reliant's three-wheelers, which made it feel less like evolution and more like compromise. Owners found themselves explaining again and again that no, this one actually had four wheels. The teasing never stopped. Sales stayed disappointing throughout production. Today the Kitten is a footnote, remembered mostly by Reliant enthusiasts. But the next car wasn't just overlooked, it was actively ridiculed the moment people saw it. Number 9. Austin 3 Litre. Surviving into the early 1970s, the Austin 3 Litre had launched in 1968 as British Leyland's attempt at a proper executive saloon, promising buyers traditional luxury wrapped in modern engineering. Excitement was modest from the start, but those who bought one expected dignity befitting the price tag. Britain's executive car market in the early 70s still craved old-world prestige, and Austin hoped wood veneer and leather trim could deliver that feeling. Hydroelastic suspension gave it a famously smooth ride, rare for cars of its size and class. But the styling betrayed it instantly. Borrowing doors from the smaller Austin 1800, the 3 Litre looked stretched and oddly proportioned, earning the unkind nickname Landlobster almost as soon as showroom doors opened. Worse, the Austin badge itself meant little in the luxury segment, leaving buyers feeling like they'd overpaid for something nobody recognized as special. Owners often felt quietly foolish parking beside genuine executive cars from Rover or Jaguar. Sales collapsed so badly the car never reached profitability. Production ended in 1971, a quiet and embarrassing exit. Still, the next entry traded awkward looks for an entirely different kind of regret, mechanical heartbreak. Number 8. Austin Maxi. Launched in 1969 and continuing strong into the 1970s, the Austin Maxi arrived with genuinely clever ideas. It offered a 5-speed gearbox, a hatchback design, and folding rear seats years before these became standard expectations. Excited buyers saw a practical, modern family car built for changing British lifestyles. The early 70s demanded versatility, and the Maxi answered with genuine innovation under the skin. Its overhead camshaft engine and spacious interior suggested British Leyland had finally gotten something right. But the execution undercut the ambition. Early gearboxes felt notoriously imprecise, the styling looked unfinished and slightly awkward, and build quality varied widely between examples. Many owners found themselves wrestling with a cable-operated gear linkage that never quite felt trustworthy. Frustration replaced excitement quickly. Reviewers praised the concept while quietly criticizing the execution, and that contradiction followed the Maxi for years. Even loyal owners admitted it felt like a brilliant idea, poorly delivered. Still, nothing prepared people for a car that looked almost embarrassed of its own badge. Number 7. Vanden Plas 1500. Released in 1974, the Vanden Plas 1500 took the humble Austin Allegro and dressed it up with a traditional chrome grille, leather seats, and badges suggesting old-world British luxury. The idea seemed simple: give ordinary buyers a taste of prestige without the price tag of a Jaguar or Rolls-Royce. Britain's middle class still valued status symbols, even during economic uncertainty, and Vanden Plas hoped nostalgia could sell cars. But the mismatch became obvious the moment people looked closely. Underneath that traditional grille sat the exact same Allegro mechanicals critics already mocked for handling and quality issues. Buyers paid extra for badges and trim, while everyone else recognized the car underneath instantly. It became a punchline among enthusiasts. Luxury branding stretched over a famously unglamorous base car. Owners often felt embarrassed once friends pointed out the resemblance. The prestige illusion collapsed fast. What followed on this list, though, wasn't dressed up at all. It was unapologetically, deliberately strange from day one. Number 6. Reliant Robin. Introduced in 1973, the Reliant Robin became one of the most recognizable British cars of the decade, thanks to its distinctive three-wheel design and lightweight fiberglass body. Economical, cheap to insure, and surprisingly practical for everyday errands, it attracted buyers looking for affordable transport during fuel-conscious times. Britain's economic pressures made low running costs genuinely appealing, and the Robin delivered exactly that on paper. Its small engine sipped fuel while offering enough space for a small family's weekly shopping. Yet the car's reputation took a beating almost immediately, largely due to exaggerated claims about instability in corners, a reputation later amplified dramatically by television comedy. Owners often felt judged before anyone even saw how the car actually drove. Despite genuinely capable real-world handling, the stigma stuck hard, turning practical buyers into easy targets for jokes. Many owners grew tired of explaining themselves at every stoplight. Strangely, the next car wasn't mocked for its shape, it was mocked for trying too hard to look modern. Number 5. Triumph Stag. Launched in June 1970, the Triumph Stag arrived as a stunning V8-powered convertible Grand Tourer, styled by Michelotti and built to rival Europe's finest sports cars. Excitement ran so high that waiting lists stretched past a year, with buyers paying well above list price just to own one. Britain's motoring optimism of the early 70s embraced the Stag as proof the country could still build something genuinely glamorous. Its distinctive T-bar roof and smooth 3.0-litre V8 promised effortless touring sophistication. Then the overheating began. Poor casting quality left debris clogging coolant passages, while mismatched metals in the engine triggered corrosion few mechanics understood at the time. Head gaskets failed repeatedly, and warped cylinder heads became a depressingly common sight at Triumph dealerships nationwide. Owners who'd waited a year for delivery often found themselves waiting again, this time for replacement engines. Frustration replaced pride quickly, and resale values plummeted accordingly. Decades later, sorted Stags have shaken their reputation entirely, but in the 1970s, true heartbreak. Few cars on this list, though, would prove quite as nationally infamous as what comes next. Number 4. Austin Allegro. Launched in 1973, the Austin Allegro was meant to replace the beloved Austin 11001300, promising modern styling and improved comfort for Britain's growing family car market. Excitement built quickly, with buyers expecting a worthy successor to one of Britain's best-selling cars. Economic pressures of the mid-1970s made affordable, practical family cars essential, and the Allegro arrived positioned perfectly for that demand. Early marketing emphasized comfort, value, and modern engineering improvements over its predecessor. Then came the Quartic steering wheel, a bizarrely squarish design intended to improve dashboard visibility. Instead, it became an instant symbol of misguided engineering. Combined with rounded, awkward styling some compared unkindly to an egg, the Allegro struggled to escape ridicule from the moment it launched. Owners often felt embarrassed defending a car constantly mocked in conversation and press alike. Reliability issues only deepened the frustration. The Allegro became shorthand for British Leyland struggles. But the next car wasn't laughed at for its wheel, it was laughed at for its entire identity crisis. Number 3. Austin Princess. Debuting in 1975, the Austin Princess arrived with genuinely striking wedge styling designed by Harris Mann, promising buyers something that looked years ahead of its rivals. Marketed toward executives and aspirational families, it suggested British Leyland could still produce something visually exciting. Britain's car market increasingly valued bold styling during the 1970s, and the Princess delivered dramatic looks unlike anything from Ford or Vauxhall. Spacious, comfortable, and undeniably eye-catching, early impressions seemed genuinely promising. Then reality intervened. Despite its hatchback-style profile, the Princess shipped with a conventional boot, confusing and disappointing buyers who expected practicality matching its appearance. Reliability problems compounded the frustration, and the futuristic styling aged awkwardly rather than gracefully. Owners often felt misled, having bought into a practical promise the car never delivered. Embarrassment grew as breakdowns became running jokes among colleagues and neighbors. Yet nothing on this list created quite as much controversy as a car nicknamed entirely for the way it looked from behind. Number 2. Triumph TR7. Unveiled in 1975, the Triumph TR7 promised to modernize Britain's sports car legacy with dramatic wedge styling and pop-up headlights, replacing beloved classics like the TR6. Enthusiasts anxiously awaited a worthy successor capable of competing with international rivals. British sports cars faced mounting pressure from stricter safety regulations and changing tastes, and Triumph bet everything on radical redesign rather than tradition. The bold shape divided opinion the moment it appeared in showrooms nationwide. Quality control problems plagued early production, with body panels, electrics, and trim drawing constant complaints. Strikes at the Speak factory worsened consistency further, embarrassing a car already struggling for acceptance among traditional sports car buyers who missed the TR6 classic lines. Owners often felt caught between admiring its boldness and dreading its unreliability. Some hid their frustration, others simply traded it in early. The controversy followed the TR7 for years afterward. Still, nothing matched the sheer audacity of the car waiting at number 1. Number 1. Morris Marina. Arriving in 1971, the Morris Marina was meant to be dependable, conventional, and easy to sell in massive numbers to ordinary British families. British Leyland needed a straightforward competitor against the Ford Cortina, and expectations for steady, uncomplicated success ran high. Britain's family car market demanded reliable, no-nonsense transport during economically uncertain years, and the Marina seemed positioned perfectly to deliver exactly that simplicity. Instead, it became infamous. Outdated underpinnings borrowed from older models produced unpredictable handling, particularly during wet conditions, while inconsistent build quality turned ordinary repairs into running jokes nationwide. Reviewers and comedians alike seized on its reputation, transforming an unremarkable car into a national punchline almost overnight. Owners frequently felt embarrassed admitting what they drove, especially as breakdowns and jokes multiplied across pub conversations and television sketches. What should have been Britain's most forgettable car instead became its most mocked. Decades later, the Marina remained shorthand for everything that went wrong with 1970s British motoring. These 10 cars reveal something fascinating about 1970s Britain, a country full of ambition, creativity, and genuine engineering effort, often undone by execution, timing, or sheer bad luck. Some were innovative ideas poorly delivered. Others were simply strange from the very beginning. Together, they tell the story of an industry searching desperately for identity during turbulent times. Which car surprised you most? Did any of these change how you see British automotive history? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this journey through forgotten automotive history, like the video and subscribe to Britain Rewind for more stories Britain almost forgot.